Without further ado, season fucking 3 of the Curse Mod fucking SMP fucking begins.
Mind my language, but that's me, and I just announced the start of the Curse Mod SMP Season 3. This is the server where the 5 effects being Strength, Invisibility, Fire Resistance, Speed, and Resistance are all given out, and the demon has to hunt the affected players in order to get a prize. This is an SMP that me and BFP made several months ago, and after a few months without the SMP, I brought it back for Season 2. But I was never happy with how that server went for me. I died way too much, and I just didn't have as much fun as I wanted to. That is why this season I have a 3-step plan for success. The first step is just to try have as much fun as possible. I'm not going to go for power, I'm not trying to win a million fights or stay immortal or anything like that, I just want to have fun. Step 2, take fights. Now this one does go hand in hand with having fun, but I don't need to win these fights, and this step goes hand in hand. And I also want to use all the mods that we added to the server from a PvP standpoint as well. Step 3 is to interact with other players. As a solo player, things might get a little bit lonely. So I want to make alliances, do trades, and fight other players, all in order to have fun. My plan for the server was to quickly get to the Nether and try and get Nether Wart as fast as possible. I didn't want to monopolise Nether Wart, but I just didn't want to end up with no Nether Wart, and we'll see later in the video how this did not go as planned. But yeah, when the server started, I quickly ran away from spawn, got some wood, basic materials, etc. I was looking for structures such as lava pools and nether portals in order to get to the Nether as quick as possible, and then I was also looking for a village just to get some iron from an iron golem. Eventually, I did come across a ruined Nether portal.
Hey, okay, rune portal, that could be it. That could be our ticket to the Nether. If there's lava, it doesn't look like it's one of those ones with lava. But if it is, that would be goated.
I looted the portal for some basic materials, saw that it actually did have lava, which is actually quite lucky, as from my distance it did not look like it would have lava. This meant now all I needed was a way of getting iron, and then I could make a bucket, and I could get to the Nether. After a little bit more looking around for a cave or a village to get iron, I did actually manage to find a village.
Okay, there's a village, that's what we needed. Perfect.
I made my way over to the village, grabbed some food, and got some sleep. In the morning, I looted the village for everything it had, including a bed for myself and also some food. Strangely though, this village didn't have an iron golem, and there wasn't even a blacksmith to compensate that, which meant that I had to go looking for either another village or a cave to get some iron to go to the Nether. After following my rule of killing every nitwit villager I see, I got some books from the nearby librarian that I forgot to loot at this point in time, and then I went on my merry way to get some iron. Eventually, I found a ravine and got the few pieces of iron that I would need in order to build the Nether portal. Eventually, I got back to the ruined Nether portal and got ready to build my Nether portal by smelting some iron and also smelting some food that I had gotten along the way. With my very limited supply of iron, I decided to make a bucket, obviously, and I also decided to make a shield. I decided to save my one other piece of iron and instead decided to woodlight the Nether portal. After grabbing a few final resources, I decided to go to the Nether, cementing my spot as the first player on the Curse Mod SMP Season 3 to get to the Nether. After a spawn that tried to kill me, I decided to go looking around the Nether for some structures. The first structure I found was a bastion remnant, and I got some decent loot in this thing. I got 2 diamond pickaxes and also some iron, but no upgrade template, which was quite disappointing. I quickly left the bastion as there was really nothing else left there for me. I could have went to the bottom and got some gold, but I just didn't think it was worth my time, and I probably would have died down there. Afterwards, I went on my way to try find a Nether fortress. Nothing would stop me this time, as all I needed now was Nether Wart. Finding a Nether fortress was a long and tedious task, but eventually I did find one about 600 blocks away from the bastion. Before heading into the fortress, I went into the neighbouring Crimson Forest to get some pork chops from the hoglins, as carrots were just not cutting it. After I killed the hoglin, disaster struck. I got attacked by a couple blazes that shot fireballs at me, and I decided to just go and, dig down, and little did I know the worst possible thing would happen. I fell into a pocket of lava. I knew I was going to die, so I tried to protect my stuff, but in doing so I accidentally burnt it again. I went from the perfect SMP start to square one. Demotivated, I eventually came to my senses and realised it was not over. It was still the first hour of the SMP, I wouldn't be too far behind other players, and I decided to just go caving, get some diamonds, and get a base set up, as by this point, I just didn't want to go back to the Nether. I just died there. I knew the coordinates of a fortress, and I guess I'll just go back tomorrow. Little did I know that this would be the worst decision that I would make so far. I stocked back up on some basic tools, and went into the spruce forest, and eventually found a decent cave to go exploring in. I found a spawner, got some okay loot, but unfortunately I didn't have a spawner wrench, one of the custom items added by the World Utilities mod, so I decided just to break it and get a little bit of XP. SMP. I found a decent amount of iron, but this time I valued survivability over the speed at which I progressed, so I decided to make some armor first. Eventually, I found my first diamonds, which was really cool, and then I also found a mine shaft, so I made some shears and got ready to go get some cobwebs. On the way over to the mine shaft, I also found a lot of diamonds and gold, which would come in handy later. Afterwards, I decided to head over to the mine shaft, killing mobs and getting more diamonds along the way.
I'm gonna hit like a badass for the video. I'm gonna hit a ladder clutch. Alright, come on. Oh, I actually hit it! Oh, that was so cool! That was so cool, that was so cool, that was so cool.
Afterwards, I got poisoned by cave spiders a lot, and then I got some cobwebs though. I explored the mine shaft, opening minecarts with chests, getting cobwebs, and plenty of more diamonds along the way. Eventually, I left the mine shaft, finding some more cave biomes along the way, including a lush cave, which had heaps of diamonds, and then eventually I found a deep dark biome. After making a hoe, I went into the biome, disabling the only skulk trigger that there was, and I got to work mining all the skulk for XP. I mined skulk until I had way over level 30, and I decided to leave the skulk biome. Afterwards, I had enough diamonds, and I wanted to leave the cave when I stumbled across another mine shaft, so I made another pair of shears and decided to go back in, as what's the harm in more cobwebs. Also, I didn't record this, so in an attempt to save some of my storage space, I just stopped recording here, but I got a lot of cobwebs and a lot more diamonds as well. I emerged from the caves, and I wanted to now go and make a base. I had plenty of XP and diamonds in order to get a decent set of armor, and after now playing the server for a couple of hours, there was no reason to not make a base at this point in time. Just to let you know, from now on, I will be covering my coordinates, as I want my fellow Curseborn members to be able to watch this video without being able to know where my base is, and I will be covering the coordinates, and I don't even want them to know what quadrant I'm in, so I'm going to be doing it starting from now. Eventually, I found a nice place far from spawn and in a plains village to make my base, and I made it in the nearby area. Afterwards, I went exploring, as I just wanted some books, and I found the perfect biome to do so. There was llamas and cows everywhere, so I killed plenty of mobs and got some leather for books, and I also found a village and found some more books there to speed up the process, and then I went back to my area to make my actual base, with a maxed out enchanter in hand. Sadly, I wasn't recording at that point, so this is the only footage I actually have of that. Here, though, I was tired, and I just decided to go off for the evening, and that was my day one experience of the Curseborn SMP. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've really enjoyed making this SMP video, and hopefully there's more to come for this season. It's going very well so far at this point. At the time of uploading, it's day 6, and again, I'm having a lot of fun, and there's a lot of things to make videos about. And at least with this first week, I've gotten at least another video planned, but I haven't decided if there's 2 videos or just the one, because I haven't really decided if that is good enough quality. Anyway, once again, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to BFP and subscribe to the Curseborn SMP official channel, and I will be making a playlist of all Curseborn SMP Season 3 videos from now. Anyway, let me know what you think of this, and thanks for watching. Bye.